Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel TheTarative. Thank you for stopping by. In this video I'll be talking all about my retired piercings, the reasons for taking them out in the first place, if I plan to get them back in the future, showing you pictures of what they used to look like, and then also showing you the scars that they have left. I have done a separate video recently all about my current piercings, so if you would like to check that out I'll be leaving the link in the description below, but in this video I'll only be talking about the ones that I used to have. So I'll just jump straight into the video. The first piercing that I retired was a second lobe piercing on my left ear. I was stretching the first piercing at the time I decided to take the second piercing out. When my ear was about 10-12 millimeters, I noticed the jewellery, the flare on the jewellery, was starting to clash with the second piercing jewellery. So as I was getting bigger and bigger with this one, the clash was getting more and more until the point where the flare of the jewellery was overlapping the second piercing. It just annoyed me visually. It didn't hurt or anything, but visually it just bugged me. So I decided to take the second piercing out. I knew that when I was reaching my goal size of the first piercing, that I could then re-pierce the second one just a little bit higher up so it didn't clash. At the moment, I like the look of how my ear looks at the moment, so I'll just be leaving it alone for now. I'll show you what the scar looks like. So I don't know if you can see, it's just that tiny little dot there. It's really pale, it's really small, you can barely see it, and the jewellery pretty much covers it unless I pull it down. I'll be showing you a picture of what it used to look like when I had the second piercing. So the next piercings that I ended up retiring were some surface piercings on my arms. When I initially got them pierced, I had a single surface piercing on my left arm and a single surface piercing on my right arm. They were doing absolutely great for the first 6 months. I'd only caught them a couple of times. Other than that, they were healing really nicely. So at that point, I decided to add 2 more onto my left arm, leaving a total of 3 surface piercings on my left arm and 1 surface piercing on my right arm. Now it was the following 6 months from getting the new ones. They were just in a constant state of irritation. I was at sixth form at the time. My friends, to grab my attention, would often just grab my arms like so. They were pretty much just smacking my piercings. They forgot that I had piercings there. They weren't doing it intentionally, but that was happening once or twice a week, so they were getting irritated from that. Also, I had quite big cuffs on my jackets. They were often just rubbing / scraping against them, so they were just always in a constant state of irritation. They never really had a good chance to settle down. Because of that, they were building quite a lot of scar tissue around the entry and exit holes. I didn't want to make the scar tissue situation any worse, so I decided just to retire all 4 of them, with the intention once they had fully healed and settled down, I could always get them done for a second time. So it was 2 months after taking them out, sorry, not 2 months, 2 years after taking them out, letting them heal up nicely, that I decided actually I want to get some more surface piercings on my left arm again. So I decided to get 3 redone. I didn't get them done through the same places as they were before because there was still a little bit of scar tissue left over. I wanted just fresh nice skin for them to go through. Bit better chance of healing than going through scar tissue. So I got 3 of them done. I had them for a total of 6 to 8 months before retiring them again. So this time I didn't knock them as much. They were slightly higher up my arm, so they didn't get knocked by cuffs, but they were getting pesky little bumps coming up around the piercing holes. So I know when you get piercing bumps, they just take a lot longer to heal initially. I was absolutely prepared for that, but the bumps would be there for a couple of days, go for a couple of days, come back for a couple of days, and the cycle would just repeat and repeat. The first 2 months they were absolutely fine. It was the last 6 months where they were just constantly coming and going. They were just really irritating me. There didn't seem to be any signs of them fully settling down, and because of the bumps coming and going, they were leaving excess scar tissue behind as well. I didn't want scar tissue to get any worse, so I just decided to retire them for a second time for good. So this is what the single one on my right arm looks like now. That's what they look like. They're a slightly darker red, the most recent set, and then the previous set are nice and pale, barely noticeable. They are 2 years older than these red ones. Also, just a weird thing I've noticed, since getting them pierced for a second time around on my left arm, it has increased hair growth, strangely, just around the piercing site. It's really odd. I haven't had that with any other piercings. If you guys have experienced a similar thing, then please let me know in the comments below. I just thought I'd share that with you guys. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't matter. I can wax them. I can shave them. It doesn't matter. but it's just something that I've noticed that's happened. And the last piercings that I retired, I had a microdermal on each side of my chest. I had them for a total of 6 months before retiring them. They were absolutely fine during healing. They were the easiest piercings I've ever had. The night I'd got stung right next to the one on the right. It had swollen up really big because of the bite/sting, and by the time the swelling had gone down a couple of days later, the piercing, the microdermal, rather than the stem sitting nice and straight, it had tilted to one side. Rather than giving up hope, what I decided to do for the following month after that was to tape it up, just so I didn't get knocked. And then also the way I taped it was, I taped it so that the microdermal top was getting pulled to the left side, hopefully with the intention of having it sit straight. Now, after the 4 months of constantly changing the plasters so they were kept nice and clean, but then also making it lean more towards sitting straight again, it did sit nice and straight. It was 2 to 3 weeks after taking the plaster off that again it just reverted, going back more to the tilt, and I thought, okay, this is just going to continue. I'll take it out. Once it's healed, I can always get it redone. I kept the one on my left side because at that point it was doing absolutely fine. Now, it was a good month or two after that then during my sleep I caught this side, and rather than it tilting, it just started growing out. I just thought, okay, I'm gonna take it out. Again, I'll just heal them both up. I can get them back if I want to. I would like them back again. The only thing is that I've noticed is that I don't know if you can see, I'll kind of move up a little bit, is when I pinch this skin, there's a little bit, but there's not actually much, especially if I'm kind of sitting normally. As I hunch, there's a bit more, but not a lot. So I kind of feel if I got them done again, they'd probably just end up growing out anyways. But here's the scar. So I'll just move a bit closer to the camera. So the one on the right, the scar is a lot bigger than the one on the left. The one on the left is, I can't even see it to be honest. Oh, it's just above this little like weird freckle thing. So that's the one on the right. That's the one on the left. Again, they're both more noticeable when I'm cold as they go a slightly purpley colour, but they're not bad at all. You can barely see them. They're covered most of the time anyways. I would definitely get them back in the future. My initial intention was to have one on each side, see how they heal, and then 6 months after that my plan was to add another pair, and then again another pair after that, leaving a total of 3. That didn't happen. I'm not sure if I will do that. I would like more microdermals in the future, but I might rethink of where to have them. Thank you guys for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed learning about the piercings that I used to have and the reasons for me taking them out. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then please let me know by leaving a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see similar videos from me in the future, then hit that subscribe button below. So guys, I'll just say goodbye for now, and hopefully I'll be seeing you soon.